Nothing to show, so far from home. Don't be your brains, no one for me. Don't be your brains, no one for me.
Hey guys, what's up? It's just Chris here again. Hope you guys are having a great day. I just wanted to talk about a new morning routine. And this podcast is going to get a bit of mix of marketing and documenting of my own life, but also a little bit of self-development stuff that I am doing, and hopefully will give you guys value as well. So, since moving into our new apartment in the middle of Auckland City about a month ago, I really took this opportunity to build some new habits. I always believe that the best time to be building habits is when you get a whole new routine altogether. It's very hard to build new habits into an old routine. That being said, I had listened to Jocko's podcast, which, if anybody's listening to this, it is an amazing podcast run by a ex-SEAL in the US, and he just has amazing insights. His insights are so raw and so sort of black and white that you could only really get them from the military or someone who is very disciplined. And anyway, this is something I had already wanted to do before I got into his podcast, which was waking up early and working out. And he really just, in his book, I think it was Discipline Equals Freedom, but it might have just been his podcast, he really nailed home the importance of waking up early and training before the day begins. And if you go onto his Instagram, you will see that his Instagram is pretty much just photos of his watch when he gets up at 4:30 in the morning, which is incredible on a social media level, just because it's pretty much the same image, slightly different time, is shared every day over and over and over. And so this gets a huge amount of attention because there's such a good story behind it. But beyond that, and my sort of admiration for that content and podcasts and stuff, is that I said, okay, well, I'm going to move, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start getting up early. This is my perfect time to do it. My old schedule allows for it, but I'm just not in the habit of doing it. So if I'm in a new routine, I'm going to be building new habits, and let's just make those good habits. So what I started to do was to get up at 5 in the morning. And I'm going to put a big disclaimer on this, is that 1, I am not perfect. 2, I do not do this every day. And 3, sometimes I really struggle with doing this. But I'm still forming this habit. But over the last sort of 3 weeks or so, I've really enjoyed it. So my habit at the moment that I'm really trying to cultivate on is waking up between 5 and 5:30 and getting out of bed. Now I think of it as I have 2 goals that I have to do before work. One of them is to get out of bed, and the second is to go for a walk or a run. If I could do the first, then the second is easy. If I get up, then it's easy. But if I don't get up, it is very hard to do the second before work. And so for the first couple of days, it was a real shock to the system. I was completely exhausted at work. My job at the moment has always been very taxing, but I always enjoy it anyway. But I found getting up early was a lot harder on top of all that. But then as I did it a few more times, I felt more energized. I felt so much more alert. Suddenly, I had more time in the mornings. I wasn't getting up at the latest that I could get up and rushing around the house to get out the door to hopefully make it to work in time. I was suddenly back from my morning walk or run at 6 or 6:30. This is 2 hours before I started work, and work is only 10 minutes walk away from me. So all of a sudden I had all this time in the morning, and during that time I wasn't sluggish, I wasn't I wasn't groggy. I wasn't, oh, I have to get up, forcing myself to do things. I was alert. I was awake. I was energized. And it would be so good walking to work, because along that path is the path that I would sometimes run, and it would seem so strange that I'd already done that. I'd already run along that path 2 hours earlier before the sun even came up. So that's one thing I found amazing. And what I've also found is if I start the day early at 5 or 5:30, just by myself, I'm so much more motivated to eat a clean breakfast and to pack a lunch and to have that time to prepare that and to get myself ready for work well before I need to. And it's de-stressed my mornings so much. Plus having those endorphins going through your mind through exercising. Now with this exercise, I am not part of a gym at the moment. I am looking at a couple of gyms, and sort of a bit of my history is that I sort of done cycling all my life until I was maybe 16, took about a 5-year break from all of fitness, and then once I sort of graduated university, I got into going to the gym. I had like a personal trainer for about a year, and we trained with a group of guys, and that was fantastic. And then it was very easy to stay consistent with them, but it was very hard to do it on my own. It was very hard to get up by yourself and motivate yourself to do it, because there's nobody waiting for you, I suppose would be the better way to put it. There's nobody waiting for you to meet them at the gym at 5:30. If you go there at 5:30, you're just there by yourself. So I'd sort of been on this backwards and forwards thing where I'd do gym and I'd do it great for a few months, and I'd sort of fall off the wagon, get back into binge eating really. It was just eating crap and drinking crap and all that. And I'd sort of be on this cycle for the last few years where I'd be into fitness and I'd sort of relapse and then back into fitness, and I just never really got fully on the wagon again for a decent amount of time. So I am really hoping and really pushing towards this being a long-term thing for me. I have found that I absolutely love it. I always consider myself more of a night owl. I can very easily just stay up until midnight, 1 a.m. easy. I always found it hard to sort of get up early. So that's something I'm really cultivating at the moment. It's working really well. I really encourage you guys to try it. Even if you don't go for a run or anything, just wake up at 5 or 5:30 and maybe do a bit of work, but just something productive, because that is what I've found is the best way to start the day. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions at all. I will be giving you guys more updates on this as we sort of go through the podcast and stuff like that. I definitely encourage you to do it though. All the best.